For this next video, I'm going to be throwing some bowl forms on the wheel. I'm going to continue using the 2-pound balls of clay. But the difference with throwing a bowl form and throwing this your basic cylinder form is that when you bring your wall up on your bowl form, you're going to allow it to go ahead and start to flare out a little bit. You're going to go for that flared out flower pot shape. Because most bowls are short and wide, I want to make sure that that's the shape I have my centered mass of clay. I want it to be a short, wide, domed mound. I don't want it real tall. So now I'm going to go ahead and open it now that I've got it centered. I'm going to start pulling my wall up. And as you can see, as I bring the wall up, I'm just letting it flare out. Now you can see that I've got this flower pot shape. It's a cylinder that's flared out at the top. Now I want to make that bowl curve on the inside, which will also shape the outside of the pot. Now I could do it with just my fingers and my sponge. I could do it with my metal rib, but this doesn't have the kind of curve that I'm after. So the rib that I'm going to use is actually an old compact disc. It's got the perfect round curve for making a bowl. When you do this, you want to make sure you have the inside of your pot good and wet. And this is a little bit trickier. I don't usually start, I could just use my left hand with the rib on the inside, my right hand on the outside like I'm pulling my wall up. But over the years of doing this, I end up doing something that's a little bit more difficult and harder to figure out when you're just watching. Because I hold the rib in my right hand, and I turn my left hand over on the outside, so I'm pushing like this. And I know it's a little bit confusing, but it works really well. And I don't start at the bottom of the pot and work my way out and up. I start at the rim of the pot and I push down. And as you can see, that as you push down, the bowl just takes that perfect round curve of the CD. It's a perfect rib. It's got a nice curve on the outside. And honestly, at this point, all you really have to do is just do a little bit of cleaning up, compress your rim, clean your rim up, and you've got a really nice bowl. I'll use my metal rib on the outside to clean up my finger marks. I'm going to use my sponge to clean up the rim a little bit. And now I've got a finished bowl. But it's not that interesting of a bowl. One thing you can do is take this lip and flare it back out a little bit. And the tool that I use for doing that I haven't talked about. What I have in my water bucket is a piece of leather chamois cloth. And it's a leather sham that you can get at an automotive parts store. It's for drying water off your car. I just get a big piece of leather chamois and I cut it into little pieces. And I have this one in a film canister, so it'll float inside my water. So I just get my leather wet and I'll pinch it right over the rim, and then I'll just start bending outward with it. The leather chamois compresses the rim and it makes it so you can bend that curve over really nice. And now I've got a bowl that has a little bit more interest in the form that's been created. I'm going to throw one more bowl and then I'm going to call it a day.